All right, guys, good morning. We are going to get started with our ELA schedule. So just as a reminder, we are in April 4th to 8th. Next week is next week on the 11th through 15th. 15th is when we start spring break. So not this Friday, but next Friday. So this week you do have Code Ninjas on Wednesdays at 2 o'clock, I think. I should write their time in there. The reason why it's so late is because they have other classes. So I know you guys have or I think it's at 2:30 maybe. So I know you guys have, I know it's late for you guys, but just remember it is later in the day. And then at 12:30, you guys have Feeble Art on Fridays. Okay. So for today, Monday, we have our ELA lessons. Then we have math. After math, you guys will have ELD students come back at 12. We'll have a screen break at 12:30. 12:45, you guys are going to have history. We're going to be moving on to lesson 2. Don't forget to do an art, health, or social emotional learning activity for the week. And then you guys have reading at the end of the day for 20 minutes. We're going to go ahead and get started with our little book, page 372 to 379. Go ahead and get your little books out. If you don't have your little books, you can follow along with me on my screen. We're going to start with our video for today. Yes, Russell, that's okay.
Preserving our Earth. How can we protect the Earth?
There are many ways to protect Earth's resources. This family brought their own reusable bag to the grocery store. By reducing the number of plastic bags they use, they create less trash and save resources. Another great way to protect Earth is by recycling. Recycling keeps many things, such as plastic bottles and newspapers, from filling up landfills. The girl drinking water is protecting Earth's resources. She is using a reusable water bottle instead of a bottle made to be thrown away. Think of one way that you can protect Earth's resources, and do it today.
All right. All right, we are going to get started with page 372.
Weekly concept. Preserving our Earth. Essential question. How can we protect the Earth? Protecting the Earth. The Earth has many resources, such as water, air, land. These children are protecting the Earth from pollution. Here are some other ways we can protect Earth's resources. Save water. Turn off the faucet while brushing your teeth. Keep the air supply clean. Have your parents turn off the car when they are waiting for someone. Talk about it. Talk about ways you can help protect Earth's resources. Write your ideas on the chart.
All right, let's go ahead and now we're going to move on to our vocabulary.
Curious. I am curious to find out what is in the box. Curious. If you are curious about something, you want to learn more about it.
So if you're curious about something, you want to learn more about it.
Distance. Lily waved from a distance, but her friend did not see her. Distance. If you see something from a distance, you see it from far away. Lily waved from a distance, but her friend did not see her. Tell about something that is at a distance from you right now.
If you see something from a distance, you see it from far away.
Earth resources. Water and trees are important earth resources. Earth resources. Earth resources are things found in nature that people can use. Water and trees are important earth resources. What are some other earth resources? Enormous. The bird looked tiny on top of the enormous rhinoceros. Enormous. Something that is enormous is very large in size or amount.
So something that is enormous is very large in size or amount.
Gently. The girls gently patted the puppy at the shelter. Gently. If you do something gently, you do it carefully or lightly.
If you do something gently, you do it carefully or lightly.
Proudly. Julia smiled proudly when she finished her painting. Proudly. If you do something proudly, you do it in a way that shows you are pleased with what you have done. Julia smiled proudly when she finished her painting. Tell about a time you did something proudly. Rarely. It rarely rains in the dry desert. Rarely. If something happens rarely, it does not happen often. It rarely rains in the dry desert. What word is the opposite of rarely? Supply. The teacher has a supply of colored pencils for the class. Supply. If you have a supply of something, you have an amount of that thing to use. The teacher has a supply of colored pencils for the class. What else is there a supply of in the classroom?
All right, so those are your words. Let's go ahead and continue on with our reading now. The art project.
The art project. Look, the community center is having an art contest, said Grace. She was holding a flyer. Mrs. Simon read the flyer aloud. Everyone agreed they would like to enter the art contest. Mrs. Simon said, "Our classroom supply of art materials is low because it's the end of the year. I'll check with Mrs. Rice to see what she has." Mrs. Rice, the art teacher, didn't have any art materials. "I won't be getting a supply until next year," she said. The whole class was disappointed. "How can we enter the art contest without art materials?" asked Grace. "Maybe we can raise some money. We could have a bake sale," suggested Hal. "I don't think there's time," Mrs. Simon said. "Let's use the paper in the recycling bin," Pablo said. Pablo did not often raise his hand. He rarely spoke up, so everyone was surprised when he offered an idea. Hal said, "I'm curious about your idea. I want to learn why you would use old paper." "So we can save Earth's resources," replied Pablo. "When we use recycled paper, we use natural materials and save trees. We can also use this old string and these wire hangers," added Grace. Now the class had to decide what to do with the materials. Pablo had another idea. "We can fold the paper into cranes. Then we can attach the cranes to a frame to make a mobile." Mrs. Simon taught the children how to fold the paper into cranes. Then everyone helped attach the cranes to the mobile. On the day of the art contest, the paper crane mobile hung in the enormous community center room. The huge space was crowded with art projects. From far off, the class spotted their project. The crane mobile swayed gently as people walked past. From a distance, the paper cranes appeared to be softly flying. The judges checked each art project. They looked closely at the crane mobile. The paper crane mobile won the prize for the most creative use of materials. As the class proudly accepted their prize, they could not stop grinning. Grace exclaimed, "We made our art project and we saved the earth at the same time."
All right, so we are going to do these next couple pages tomorrow. What we're going to be doing now is we are going to be going into our Your Turn practice workbook. So go ahead and let me know in the chat, are you going to be using your workbook or are you going to be using Kami? Once you let me know, we're on page 231 to 232. And I put that in the chat for you guys. Read the story, choose words from the box to complete the sentences, then write the answers on the line, okay? So here are our vocabulary words: curious, distance, Earth's resources, enormous, gently, proudly, rarely, and supplied. Ready, guys? Sam was eager to learn or blink about coal. What's another word for learn? Oh, you guys can't unmute. I'm sorry. Okay, now let's say that one is a little bit difficult. If that one's a little more challenging, let's move on to the next one. I think it's curious too. He traveled quite a blink to the library.
He traveled quite a distance.
Very good. There he found a blank. Now remember, an, and if it says an instead of a, that means you know it's going to start with a vowel. It's going to start with A, E, I, O, or U. So the only one that starts with a vowel is Earth's resources and enormous. So
Enormous.
he found
Enormous.
in this book. Very good. It was about blank.
Earth resources.
Very good. Okay, you guys should all be typing this or writing this out. If you're just staring at the computer screen, then you are not following directions. You need to be working on this in your own Kami or your own books. No one should just be laying down in bed. Everyone needs to be up at a table getting work done. The book was blank used, so it looked new. So it wasn't used a lot. What's something that maybe doesn't happen often?
Rarely.
Everyone should be writing this down. Sam did not want to rip the pages, so he turned them
Gently. Gently.
He learned that there is a blank of coal underground. So there is a certain amount of it. What would that be?
Supply.
Supply.
Apply.
Sam Blank reported all he had learned about the coal to his class.
Proudly.
Very good. So it does look like number one is curious. Sam was eager to learn or curious about coal. You keep yourself muted after you share. Jason, mute yourself. Jason, mute yourself. Thank you. Okay, so the first, Sam was eager to learn, it's okay, or curious about coal. He traveled quite a distance to the library. There he found an enormous book. It was about Earth resources. The book was rarely used, so it looked new. Sam did not want to rip the pages, so he turned them gently. He learned that there is a supply of coal underground. Sam proudly reported all he had learned about coal to his class. All right, so that was the answers for page 231. So you should have been writing that down with me. So I'm going to move on. Okay, if you are not done, the answers are in the chat. You can also watch this video on YouTube later and pause the video. Okay, now we're going to be doing variant vowels. This is going to be for your spelling words, vowel team syllables. The letters A, AW, AU, AUGH, AL, and OUGH can stand for the vowel sound you hear in call, dawn, sauce, caught, salt, and thought. So it all makes the ah sound. Read each word. Circle the word that has the same vowel sound as the first word. Write it on the line. Underline the vowels that spell the vowel sound. Yawn, y, ah. We're looking for the ah sound. Is it bank or fault? B, a, k, or fault? Ah, t. Which one has the ah sound?
Huh?
Fault. Very good.
Fault.
I'm going to circle the word that has the same vowel sound. You're going to write it on the line because we want to practice writing it because these are going to be your spelling words. And then you're going to underline the letters that spell the vowel sound. So these are the letters that make the vowel sound. So in this one, it looks like it's going to be AU. Okay, number 2, cause. K, s, cause. Which one has the sound? Is it hawk or rail? Hawk.
Hawk.
Hawk or rail or rail. It's going to be hawk. And it's going to be the AW. Number 3, haul. Is it going to be fought, or last, asked? What has the
Thought. Thought.
Very good. I should see everybody working. No one should just be laying in bed or anything. You guys should be sitting at a table, at a workspace, and you should be getting your work done. And it's going to be OUGH. That makes the sound. All right. Walk. 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 Sail. 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 Tall. Which one has the same sound of ah as in walk?
Tall. Tall.
Ah, oh. It's going to be that. It's going to be A and then the first L. Okay, last one. Taught. T, ah, t. Day. D, A. Chalk. Ch, ah, k. Which one has the ah sound?
Chalk. Chalk.
I cleared them up.
And it's going to be the A and L again. That makes the ah sound. All right, good job. What I'll do is I'll capitalize the letters that you have to underline in the chat. All right, we're moving on to the next one. In a long word, the letters that make up a vowel team stay together in the same syllable. Draw a line to divide each word into syllables, circle the vowel team. So here we have yellow, awful, pointer, and caution. So in a long word, the letters that make up a vowel team stay together in the same syllable. So yellow, yellow. So the letters that make up a vowel team. So the vowel team here is going to be O. So I believe yellow, yellow, yellow. Actually, yellow, yellow. I think it's actually going to be this one. Okay, awful. So FUL is the vowel team. Pointer, pointer. I think pointer. I think TER. And then caution, caution. TION. All right, guys, I'm going to give you guys a minute to finish that, and then we're going to work on our 5 things. All right, guys, we're going to work on our 5 things now. The first thing we're going to do is our spelling test. Remember, you can always find your tests when you go to your student copy, and they will always be there. You have to make sure it's your spelling words by going to the 15 words that we have. We're working on the sound. It's going to say spelling, and then you're going to take the red button that says spelling test.
Ready for the test? Don't peek at your list. Begin. Ball. The soccer player kicked the ball in the goal.
Small. The small shoe did not fit the big foot. Paw.
My dog stepped in mud and got one paw dirty.
Jaw.
When I chew, my lower jaw moves up and down.
Pause.
Stop or pause the movie for a short moment.
Sauce.
I topped my spaghetti with tomato sauce.
Taught.
The teacher taught the class how to read.
Chalk. The limestone chalk in the cliffs was white.
Walk. We walk in the hallways and never run.
Sought.
I sought help by asking for directions.
New.
I want a new bike for Christmas.
Fruit.
An apple is a crisp and tasty fruit.
City.
Los Angeles is California's largest city.
Own.
When we buy the new house, we will own it. Read.
The child will read the book.
Check your words. You got 15 out of 15 on your first try. That's 100%. Excellent.
All right, so once you've taken your spelling test, then you're going to go to the vocabulary, click on the vocabulary link, open that up, and then make sure it's your vocabulary words. There should be 8 of them. And it's going to say Unit 5, Week 4, VOC, which stands for vocabulary. And then you're going to press the red button for the vocabulary test.
Get ready for the test. Don't peek at your list. Begin.
Choose the word that's being defined.
Eager to find out something.
If you want to learn about something, if you want to find out about something, or if you want to find out what's in your present, or you're eager to find out and learn more about coal, what would that be called?
Curious.
Curious.
Very good.
To move away from.
To move away from.
Distance.
Distance.
Natural substances found on Earth such as light, air, water, plants, animals, soil, stone, minerals, and fossil fuels.
Earth resources.
Earth resources. Very large, gigantic.
Enormous. Enormous.
Softly or with great care.
Gently.
Gently.
With a feeling of self-worthiness.
So your feeling of self-worthiness, it's like you did a really good job on your writing test, or you ran in a race and you did your very best.
Proudly.
Proudly.
Hardly ever.
It hardly ever rains in the desert.
Rarely.
Rarely. Amount available for use.
We don't have a big amount of pencils, so please make sure that you guys are not breaking them or losing them.
Supply.
Supply.
You found the correct definition for 8 out of 8 words. That's 100%. Excellent.
All right, now what we're going to do is we are going to work on your grammar and your mechanics and your selfie writing. So let's go ahead and do that now. I'm going to go to your online McGraw-Hill website. Click on Games. Click on Grammar. Read each set of words. Match each set of words to the correct contraction. We're.
Miss Park, wasn't this last week's? Because it seems like last week's.
We are. No, I think it's different. Okay, there.
They are.
I'm.
I am.
It's.
It is.
Fantastic.
Next one, we are.
Where?
We're. She's.
She is.
You're.
You are.
He's.
He is.
Very good.
Great job.
Okay, I am.
I'm.
You are.
You're.
They are.
There. There.
Is.
It's. It.
Great job.
Very good. Now we're going to move on to your mechanics. Read each sentence, drag the word that completes the sentence to the line. The boys are cleaning their yard. So it belongs to them. They're thinking that the yard is part of Earth. So they are thinking the yard is part of Earth. They will help their father in the yard. So it belongs to them. That's their dad. So their father, THEIR. They are very helpful. There is the contraction. They are very helpful. And it's you. The reason why you use the uppercase one is because it's at the beginning of the sentence. Their yard will look great. So it belongs to them. Oh, and we need to capitalize it because it's at the beginning of the sentence. I know that they're thoughtful about Earth. I know that they are thoughtful about Earth.
Good job.
So this is very important to do because these all sound the same, but they're different, okay? So again, it's a beautiful day today. So it is a beautiful day today. That's a contraction. Our class will have its picnic today. So that's not a contraction. It belongs to them. It's their picnic. Another way to think about it is, would it make sense for it to be our class will have it is picnic? No. So that's why there's no apostrophe. We looked at the river and checked it is water. No. So it's going to be it's water without an apostrophe. It's hard to see problems in rivers sometimes. It is hard. And it's going to be at the beginning, so you need to uppercase it. Look at the lake. It is water level is very high, does not make sense, so it must be without the apostrophe. Its water level is very high. We like the lake. It is where we go swimming. And it is makes sense, so it's going to use the contraction. It's where we go swimming.
Fantastic.
Last one. Your, and your. Thanks for your help cleaning the park. It wouldn't make sense to say you are. So it's going to be without the contraction. You are one of the best helpers. Yep, that makes sense. So we're going to use the uppercase one because it's at the beginning of the sentence. I like your you are idea about cleaning up the river's bank. You are doesn't make sense. So it must be just your. I like your idea. I can see you are working hard. Ooh, you are makes sense. So it's going to be the lowercase one. You are the contraction. I can tell you are very happy today. Again, another contraction. Tell your mother that we liked your cookies. That doesn't make sense. So it must be your.
Good job.
All right, guys, guess what? We're already on our last thing. The last thing you guys have today is going to be your selfie writing. Someone needs to mute themselves. And Angelica, mute yourself. All right, we are on April 4th. So let's see if I can find that. Ooh, look, it's a cool one. So your photo for this one is going to be very small. Okay, so you're going to take your picture. I'm going to insert it. And then it's going to go in this little box. Doop, doop, doop. Look how tiny my picture is. So there's my little picture in the house. If you could pick up your house, if you guys have ever watched the movie Up, the man uses all these balloons to pick up his house and tries to take it to South America. If you could pick up your house and go anywhere, where would you go? So I want you guys to type in where you would go in the chat, and then I'll pick one of your things. You can, and you have to explain why, because remember, you're writing a minimum of a paragraph, which is 4 to 6 sentences. Well, you guys know that Miss Park loves Disneyland, so I'm going to write Disneyland. So what's the first thing I need to do? Indent. 5 spaces. If I could pick up my house and go anywhere, comma, I would go to Disneyland. First, Disneyland is very fun. Next, they have lots of things to do and eat. Finally, what else should I say? Ooh, Eva says Mexico or Japan because she likes ramen and Mexican food. Sierra says Mammoth because it's beautiful and full of nature. Ooh, Angelica says Las Vegas. This is how you spell it. Russell says Korea or Philippines because I like Korean and Filipino chips. Yum. So if I could pick up my house and go anywhere, I would go to Disneyland. First, Disneyland is very fun. Next, they have lots of things to do and eat. Let's see how many sentences I wrote. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I only need one more. So I'm only going to write 4 sentences for this one. So I'm going to do my conclusion. In conclusion, I would take my house to Disneyland if I So here's mine. What I want you guys to do is I want you to write your own. I want you to come up with where you would take your house, just like how you guys are writing it in the chats. And you guys are going to put this in your own selfie writing. Now we do have about 15 minutes left in class. So that's a perfect amount of time for you guys to do your 5 things. So for the remainder of the class, I want you guys to get your 5 things completed. Get all your 5 things completed. Your spelling, vocabulary, grammar, mechanics, and your selfie writing. And then I still need Jewels to finish the writing test. Kendall, Angelica, Maylee, Sierra, actually, I haven't updated this from the weekend. So if you did it, then that's fine. Sierra, Kendall, Dimitri, Nicholas, Jewels, and Jason, you have selection and comprehension tests in ELA to complete. Daniel, Sierra, Kendall, Matthew, Jason. You guys have Dimitri, Alexander, Abigail, Kendall, Jewels, Matthew, Daniel, Jason, Nicholas. You guys have math to complete. And then Daniel, Kendall, Angelica, Sierra, Abigail, Dimitri, Alexander, Kendall, Jewels, Matthew, Daniel, Jason, and Nicholas. You guys have history to complete. If you guys did it over the weekend, I'm going to go through and look for what you guys have completed. However, if you didn't complete things over the weekend, you guys need to get them completed now. Everyone else, you guys are going to be working on your 5 things. Go ahead and do that now.